Hello, hello, hello. What have we got going on here then? So when I was a kid, they told me I should play a cop on the stage play. That was my line. It was something along the lines of a remake of an Asterix comic. Asterix comic, yes. Asterix the Gaul. Now, the guy who got the lead part, which I wanted obviously, and which basically that whole shit, as far as I'm concerned, thwarted a life of actorship, right? Whatever the hell you want to call it. There's a nice word for fucking actors. Really nice word, man. I'm thinking prolificizing or something. It's not that though. There's a really, really, really nice word. In any case, so I think to myself, I'm out on my jog. Okay, so this is the Old-Cummer-station, the GO station. Now the GO station is different than the TTC, the Toronto Transit Commission. With the GO station, it's when you want to go between cities, basically. Cities being the interconnected myriad municipalities that make up what is known as the GT fucking A. Fucking A, right. So the Greater Transit, or the Greater Toronto area is just like the Greater Chicago area / any city of, let's say 50,000 fucking folks or more. Where I went to university in Bridgeport, Connecticut, they were at 150 when I left there. So it makes me rethink my statement, and I'll try not to define it and stop pretending I'm a fucking scientist. Now there's a plane up there, and I got it in frame. If you're really paying attention to what I say and watch the plane, these words are going to affect your life forever. Okay. Obviously, at the perfect and opportune moment, he has nothing to say apart from the plane is going to fly into the sun. Your dumbass is going to be blinded for listening to, or not listening to, my dumbass. That was pretty cool shit, man. That's the kind of shit you happen when you walk around with a camera and you train yourself to use it like a ninja. Anyway, forget all that other shit I was saying. I was going to end with this. Like, listen, on the one hand, I want you to listen to me and watch my videos and all this kind of shite and think that I'm some kind of magical sage who fucking is a technology wizard, sales wizard, any other kind of fucking thing you want to insert in there. Of course I do, because I am. I'm all of that and more, and motherfuckers, so are you. And if you get hung up and offended on me swearing at you because you're too stupid to understand that fucking fact, then shame on you, motherfucker. Imam Ali, peace be upon him, said, this is what he said. He said this 1400 fucking years ago, motherfuckers. You're gonna school us about like self-help? This is what he said, man. Like, okay, I'll make a statement before I say it. You look in the entire volume of self-help shite, starting from Napoleon Hill, right? The magic of, what is it? The power of positive thinking, I guess it is. Magic of believing, that's Claude Bristol. And then you've got the beginning of the 60s, etc. You've got self-esteem with, what's his name? Maltz, I think it is. Malcolm Maltz or something. He wrote Psycho-Cybernetics. I mean, I've been studying this stuff my whole life, man. I have this piece of paper I give people, and I am going to come back to the saying of Imam Ali because it's so fucking profound. I usually start on one of these rants and I forget the saying itself. What I'm hoping is that you'll be curious enough to go look that stuff up, man, and tell me some of them. There's treasure troves. You'll never, ever be able to read all of the sayings and speeches and prayers of all of our imams, man. And they're all fucking, like, wonderful and marvelous. Why do I swear so much? I know why I swear. The Quran refers to it. Shall I tell you? God does not like harsh words, language, right? Illa, except, and I don't know the next few words, so I won't pretend to. He doesn't like it except from one who has been dealt with unjustly, except from someone who's been victimized, essentially. And I believe there's an addendum on that, which is publicly victimized. So if you've been fucking humiliated and degraded in public, and your last recourse is to fucking swear, you might be like, all right, so you're fixated on me or something. You're like, okay, so why are you swearing? God damn it, man, I can't even begin to tell you. I can't begin to tell you Why and how and wherefore? Am I complaining? Heck no, man. I love this shit. I love this shit. Imam Ali said, don't be too worried about a person who does you wrong or is looking for ways, or who does you wrong, because he's looking for ways to do himself harm and do you good. What are you going to do with a statement like that? It's like, bring it on, motherfuckers. Bring that shit on. I say that stuff to people. Their blood, when they understand what the hell I'm talking about, their blood curdles. How can it not? How can these fuckers, Condoleezza Rice and all them, not be scared shitless of Hezbollah? How the fuck can they not be? You got this little band of savages, so-called terrorists, who are doling out food to the public, obviously, and giving out half of their fucking earnings to charity and all this kind of rubbish, and are therefore very popular, yeah? Like Mao Zedong, yeah? Like Hugo Chavez, like Ahmadinejad, right? Like Castro, all these so-called villains. You're fucking stupid if you haven't researched these people. Hugo Chavez single-handedly did more for Venezuela than any fucking ruler ever, I would say, apart from Imam Ali, peace be upon him. Imam Ali, peace be upon him, said, within you is a universe. You guys look down on yourself, but within you is a universe. You belittle yourself. You, viewer, who I previously referred to as motherfucker, you look down on yourself, whereas within you is a universe. Now, Shias take everything, every one of our holy imams from the family of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, his family, upon them all, said, literally and universally. Therefore, it's not to say there is something like a universe in you, or if you reach transcendental states or whatever the heck it is, etc., etc. What it means is that exactly what you see on the outside, you've got on the inside. Do you understand universe, and then do you understand world? This little world that you're so engrossed in, okay, when you compare it to the universe, you can't. Because as far as we know, the universe is still expanding. So what comes beyond that? See, these atheists, I finally figured out what to say to one of them. If I can finally reach one of them, I'll convert him in a second. Fucking second. If you know any atheists, send them this video or write this shit down and tell it to them. I started out saying, well, you know, you've got two options, okay? Either the universe has existed forever or it hasn't, okay? I want to read this sign, this homeless ad, by the way. That's the reason I stopped. I'm on a fucking jog. You might see the trail all the way down there past the fields. It goes on for fucking ever, man. And I've been here for like a month and I still haven't explored all of it. I'm going to go and explore the last leg of it today, which crosses Finch Street and goes south. Right now I'm at Don Mills and Finch, basically. Basically, if anyone's interested, this is the Old-Cummer-station. So, I don't care about the date. What the hell is time anyway? Lost it. Totally fucking lost it. I was giving a speech to my, I have to say housemates, but for the fact that my landlady and her kids were part of it. I was just fucking ranting and raving. And of course they let me not by this time. It's been a month. At about a month, you figure out what I'm fucking about, man. CompuWare couldn't handle that shit, man. They fired me in like 2 weeks. The day I got fired, I told the team, I bet you, anyone want to take bets 50-50 that I'm going to be let go or fired within 6 weeks? I don't know if they didn't hear me, or I don't know if they figured he probably is going to get fired, or what. But I didn't have any takers. I would have done it. But I mean, the only reason I say that is I knew no one would bet me. I'm not a betting man. I'm a Muslim, as you know. So in any case, the saying of Imam Ali's. Okay, so there's a universe inside of you. Do you understand that it's possible and conceivable that there are sentient beings inside of you? Okay? As far as the atheists are concerned, it's basically very simple. And I need to, like, if you go to my blog, I believe the last post is a post by my atheist friend Denis Mikhailov, okay? And we're having this debate because he's basically one of several people I've met in my life who I consider more intelligent than me. When I'm around him, I shut the fuck out, man. He rules. He fucking rules, basically. And he was a security guard when I met him. That doesn't mean nothing, man. If you're stupid enough to think rich people are the smartest or something, or more accomplished, or anything beyond lucky, that's all it is. If you want to fucking apply luck, that's where you apply that shit. For every accomplished person, I can show you millions, if not thousands, or whatever, backwards or forwards, who have all of that person's qualities that you think made him successful, let's say, more. Right? So let's say they don't have any failings, and they have at least as much intelligence and determination and all this other kind of shite, right? They work just as hard. They look about the same. They came from the same circumstances, etc., etc., etc. It's just like saying, is the stock market going to go up or down tomorrow? No one will ever be able to answer that question. And it's the same thing I'm talking about with atheists, okay? I used to say something like, the universe, like to believe in a universe that has been extant forever is absurd. Inexplicable and absurd. I said this to an atheist friend of mine. In fact, another very intelligent Russian guy who worked with Dennis and I. I worked security, by the way, at that time. And I wish I was still working security. It's the best goddamn job in the world. I don't give a shit what you say, man. You get all this fucking awesome training. Like, I'm a fucking soldier now because of my security training. They don't even realize what the fuck they've done, man. People are like, oh my god, did this guy study in like the fucking villages of Afghanistan or some shit with those fucking Taliban motherfucking fuckheads? Those guys are fucking retards, first of all. I don't want to go into them. Hezbollah, yes. Because I'm Shia. You'll never find a Hezbollah or Shia terrorist. There is no such thing as a Shia terrorist. I don't give a fuck what you say. Show me some videos or something. You'll never find it. You'll never find a Shia who's put up a site and then he's beheading someone. Or just blew some shit up for no reason. But you will find a band of folks who expelled Israel from southern Lebanon and fucking took them on again when Israel came into Lebanon, and they blew up half the fucking country. Do you know that? They destroyed like a quarter of the infrastructure of the country over 2 soldiers. 2 fucking soldiers, they said, were kidnapped from Israeli territory, which the Christian, Christian Science Monitor reports, you know, like about the soldiers. They reported, look this shit up if you don't believe me, man. Christian Science Monitor, CSM, reported that those fucking people had excurged into Lebanon, southern Lebanon territory. You know what? As far as I care, I don't give a fuck about any of that shit, man. There may be no Hezbollah. I haven't seen them with my eyes. Imam Ali said that the difference between truth and falsehood is 4 fingers. Someone said, what the hell does that mean? He said, he went like this. He put his 4 fingers between his ear and his eye. And he's like, if you heard it, it's not true. If you've seen it, it's true. Anyway, whatever. I've seen the Quran and I've read it. And therefore, I believe that if there is a band of Shias out there called Hezbollah, that corroborates everything I know. I never heard of them fucking beheading someone. If you look at Mullah Sadra, everyone's heard his name. Fucking guy, he held off like the whole U.S. Army from approaching Imam Ali's shrine. That's what he did. That's all he fucking did. And what did they do? They made peace with his ass. That's what happened. I don't have to give you lectures about nothing, man. You guys, you dumb fucks think Chavez and all these guys are bad guys. Imam Ali had like a congregation of like 100,000 people when he was the governor or ruler or whatever. Like the Sunni people have caliphs, we don't have caliphs. There's no such fucking thing, okay? There's no such thing as caliph. Imam Ali is the caliph, the caliph. Khalifa, khalif means behind, in a sense. Like Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and his family designated Imam Ali to be his successor or his caliph, okay? Now, the point is that when I go, the only person who's worthy of guiding you in the way I have is this person here, because he is myself. Me and him were created from the same light. Whoever considers me to be his master, this man is his master. This man is Ali. He's my cousin. He's my son-in-law. He's the husband of my daughter Fatima. May the blessings of Allah be upon her. What did the people do after Imam Ali buried Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and his family? They came out in the street with swords and they said, well, this is your new ruler, a gentleman by the name of Abu Bakr. And Abu Bakr, when he was about to croak, I'm sorry, I'm probably going to get killed for this shit, man, by Sunni fucking fuckers, right? My parents are like really worried about that stuff. I had at one point a picture of myself on my website. This is like fucking 5 years ago. At least 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago, and I'm shooting a poster of Osama bin Laden at a gun range with my buddy Jerome in Florida, right, in fucking Orlando. He takes me to a gun range and they've got posters of all this shit, and I'm like pegging his ass from like 50 feet away or whatever. So anyhow, it's all rubbish, man. You see, Imam Ali said, is there anyone here who is hungry? Silence. Anyone here who didn't eat today, or anyone here doesn't have a place to stay tonight? Anyone? You see, that's called being a leader, right? This is what he said. He said, peace be upon him, I've never used the go thing. To me, it's, oh, here comes another fucking train, man. Check this shit out. Should we cause a crisis? Let's cause a fucking crisis. Don't worry, I'm just filming. So, like, the thing is that the bus driver or the train driver is obviously looking. I'm tempted to put my hand right in front of him. Don't worry, I got it, man. That fucking guy out big time. I freaked his ass out big time, and my hat went all the way down the tracks there. So in any case, the reason I'm pointing this way now is because of the sun, man. I'm a good fucking filmer. You know, motherfuckers? I am. You know that, motherfuckers? Anyway, so filmer. That's what I am. I ain't a movie maker. I'm a fucking filmer, right? I fucking challenge any of these fuckers to do what I do. Tony Scott, may he rest in peace, and may God forgive him for fucking snuffing his fucking stupid fucking ass out and more or less defaulting himself to eternal punishment if there's a God. Basically, he must have known that shit, man. He must have known that shit. Everyone knows that shit. You can't commit suicide. It's apart from these fucking suicide bombers who blow themselves and others up in the name of God, obviously. Anyway, like our 60 Imam said, a believer can't commit suicide. It's as simple as that. If fucking life, if the taking of life, the Quran says that, so we say to the children of Israel, quote unquote, as we declare to the children of Israel, whomsoever, let's see if this phone works. I do stuff like this, and it tells me a lot about the place I'm in. So this phone works. It doesn't look like it's shit. It's all skanky, it's rust congealed, and no one's used it forever, right? Apart from now. It does work. So it says a lot about something. I couldn't care less what. But perhaps at a future point in time, I'll look at other phones and see them working and all this kind of shite, and it'll be a useful tidbit that will help me and enable me to protect my well-being. Now look at this shit. This is classic, man. Fucking train went over the cap. Look at that shit, man. This is rad. See, this is the shit right here. This is the shit right here, man. Fucking train went over my hat. Now, when I wear this, right, I'm going to be remembering this shit, right, or whatever. I don't care, man. I think this is the shit right here. And I do wear a hat, by the way, to protect my hair from the sun. My wife's like, oh, don't worry. She's like a hairdresser. My beautiful wife, Judith. She's like, well, listen. I mean, she's like the bomb. Fucking class A lady. She's so classy that she's separated from me. And I wouldn't have it any other way. Because I'm a fucking basket case nowadays, as you can see. And I was telling my paralyzed with joy housemates about the fact that if she actually accepted me as her husband, I would lower her estimation in my eyes, something like that, or my estimation of her, right? Because, you know, I'm a basket case. Basket case mean one, right? I got the time of my life where I've tried everything, done everything, fucking smoked everything I could get my hands on, and all this kind of bullshit. Tried everything, gone to college, had a corporate career for 10 years, all this kind of rubbish. Did everything everyone told me to do, and now I do whatever the fuck I want, man. The only thing I'm worried about is, like, one day when I'm old, like, who's going to take care of me, man? I don't have any kids. But the same person who's taken care of me so far, whether or not you want to call him God or whatever, it's going to continue along those lines, right? So none of those people were hungry or anything. Imam Ali had said at one point, Allah has made it obligatory. Allah is just God, okay, with a capital G. Ilah is God with a small g, okay? Christian Arabs say Allah too. And Jewish Arabs say Allah too. Allah just means God with a capital G, all right? It's not fucking idol or something like that. It's not a fucking idol. So right there is the path I want to traverse, okay? The path I want to traverse, I got to jump over this goddamn thing now. You see how weird it is? It's like So when I started out here, like, you could get in through the fence. There's a path that goes over there. You can get in through the fence up there. And now I got to go and, like, shimmy over this shit. At least I can put my hands on these things, right? And it's like, that stuff happened just after. Hey, viewer, you will warn me if there's a train coming, right? Because I almost got conked by that first one. Wasn't that great, man? 2 fucking trains. Now I got to wait for the third. Why? Because Imam Ali said whatever happens in 2s happens in 3s. There's going to be a third train around here in the next 5 minutes. I think. You be the judge. I'll probably be ranting on. And the beauty of it is this. I've realized I can just rant, upload these things onto YouTube, delete them from my fucking camera, and on with the races, right? What's going to happen if Google tanks in fucking 50 years? Fuck, I'm going to tank in 50 years. Who gives a fuck, right? If it's worth anything, God will save it, really. Alright, so where was I? Yes. Allah has made it obligatory on real leaders to live at the level of the lowest person in society. The poorest, the meanest, the lowest. Because, you see, the thing is this, folks. Like, you're not going to be able to influence or reach out to a person who lives in abject poverty if you live in a house. It's really that simple. Now, on the other hand, if you live in a mud house and all you eat every day is 2 pieces of bread, like Imam Ali did, like if you look at my my video, it's called Asceticism, Clothes, and something along those lines. I make reference to it. I talk about it in great detail, where he talks to one of his generals or governors about the fact that he just eats 2 pieces of bread. He's like, you don't have to be like me, but don't fucking like dish out all this like the wealth of the state on like dinners to the rich, man, and the privilege. That's not the whole thing. That's not it right there, man. It's not. Like the guy's thinking that these guys have influence and power, just like all politicians, and so therefore I should pander to them. I'll say once again, I said it today, and I haven't said it on this clip, but the world is not ruled by rich and powerful people, quote unquote powerful. I'll tell you that much, man. The world is ruled by men of knowledge. That's it. I don't care how you take that statement. Whatever way you take it, it's correct. Now, I want to read this thing. I just want to make sure there's nothing left unsaid prior to the fact. Just as I reach the end of this thing, a train's going to come by. I'm going to film that shit. And I'm going to get going. I got some jogging to do. And this is the last time I'm here. That's why I'm rambling on like this, among other things. Fucking landlord, as I mentioned to you, he attacked me, grabbed me by the neck and had me in a death throttle. And he had my neck grabbed for about 5 minutes. He left marks in there. And thanks to the grace of Allah, he's given me a body, not just a mind, but a body that is pretty fucking amazing as well, man. Anyway, it healed. The next day it started healing. It was like the next day it was less than 50% of what it was the previous day. And he hit me on the head with an upside down cleaver, by the way. I keep mentioning this shit because as long as I remember it, I'm going to mention it. Because I don't want to think about that shit, right? Alright, now pay attention to this. It is very fucking good. I've read it in its entirety, and now you're going to listen to it in its fucking entirety, and you're going to do something about it, okay, viewer? You're going to do something about it. I don't want your comment today. I want you to go find some homeless person and help his ass out. You listen to him, you give him some money, whatever, right? You're like, oh, well, they go and do drugs, whatever. You know what, man? Here's the thing. If you can tell the guy's tweaking and all this kind of nonsense, hey, man, how's it going? You want to wait for the folks? Then maybe not. Maybe not. Okay? But on the other hand, if a dog is thirsty,